I'm Tonia Antoniazzi. I'm the Member of Parliament for Gower, but I've got a lovely little speech here, and I don't really want to use it because I feel absolutely inspired this morning. And good morning, everyone. Thank you, to the National, to be here today at National Armed Forces Hub Organising Committee. You've invited me here to speak at this Hub launch event and celebrate Armed Forces Week. But to be honest with you, the passion in this room is incredible, especially for a COVID organised event. Adrian, the work that you do as the Chief Executive of the BTB genuinely inspires me. The passion that you have spoken with today and the passion that Wendy has, Professor Wendy Deering, that you've spoken with this morning really does, inspire me, and Barry, your words as well, because skills for lifelong learning are really, really important. And I've supported Adrian. I've met him, back when I became the Member of Parliament in 2017, where he articulated his passion for what he was doing with the BTB from the off. And I said, look, this is amazing. Adrian, you've just got to go for it, and you have my full support. You're so active in the community and, with the armed forces and veterans and setting up projects across Swansea. This is key. Community is key. Being a Member of Parliament is about joining the dots, getting everybody to work together, and to see what you have achieved by getting the university on board, by getting the council on board. Everybody singing from the same hymn sheet is so vital to improve services for service personnel. And your pop-up kitchen, which started in 2019 as a community project to get kids into cooking and healthy eating, supporting a similar one in Craigfailing Primary School with the shared plate. It's absolutely vital that we have community projects which help people, give them lifelong learning. I mean, I love cooking, don't have much time for it these days, but as growing up in an environment where I was fortunate enough to be able to cook for my family, to cook as an adult and enjoy it. And, that is key. And those are skills that we take for granted, but they're not always there for everybody. So thank you for your work there. It's an outstanding ambition working in a circular economy project, which is going to bring thousands of jobs to Swansea over the next few years. And Adrian, you have our full support. This is really, really, really tremendous. And as you know, I've got a huge interest in sport and activity, mainly from the sofa, unfortunately, at the moment. But to see the progress being made, delivering projects to revolutionise outdoor fitness, the outdoor fitness industry is key, particularly as we've, some people have benefited from COVID and being active, some people haven't. And we've got to get everybody moving, young people moving. And there is an industry there where people from the armed forces will play a vital part. Friends of mine who have come back from the forces, it's one of my friend's very, very great passions of keeping his children active and being involved in clubs such as Scouts and getting out there and getting people onto the water. Skills that which when you have learned in the armed forces, you bring back into Civvy Street that people like me probably wouldn't bother to do. But that is why it's key, and your communication in this project is absolutely brilliant. So working with FE, and with disadvantaged young people, that is inspirational. I think I've said that word about 100 times now, but it makes me want to go and put my rugby boots back on just before my 50th birthday in October. So we'll see. But from that point, your passion in supporting the community has impressed everybody, Adrian. And the fact that I'm stood in this hub today is testament to the hard work that's been going on since 2018 to make sure our armed forces personnel, veterans and their families can go to one place. And when you spoke about Google earlier, I did giggle to myself and I thought, you've got to be a top hit on Google. This has got to be a top hit because it is absolutely brilliant. And recently I served on the Armed Forces Bill Select Committee in UK Parliament, and it really was an insight for me into hearing evidence, about the people's lives and talking about the Covenant. But we did hold the Veterans Minister to account in order to deliver real improvements in the day-to-day lives of service personnel. And this is where the BTB fits. perfectly to deliver those changes, working hand in hand with the university. And I'm proud to say that when we was talking about armed forces champions, Swansea Council has Councillor Wendy Lewis as its armed forces champion. It has a team which is led by Alison Pugh as well, and that is key to making everything work properly. And in my role as the MP for Gower, I'm listening to everybody, especially to veterans. We know that veterans go on to be leaders in their civilian lives, in their work and communities, and making that successful change from military to civilian life, as we have heard today, is not easy. And that's why I want to hear more about what people like me and elected representatives can do to help and support. It's not just about working with you, Adrian, because you're fantastic in the university, but we want to continue to support you and create other opportunities in being in Parliament. I've spoken about being in teaching for over 20 years. It's going from education to becoming an MP, what a journey. And Julian, something that you, sorry, it wasn't you, Julian, it was you, Adrian, when you spoke about the Proud project. Don't let anybody stand in your way, otherwise I would never be standing here today talking to you, because having been in the classroom with young people, there's one message that I have to them, and lifelong learning I have to everybody. Just because you're a little bit older doesn't mean those opportunities aren't there for you. Now, I've got no idea how long I've been talking for, probably too long, knowing me, but this hub is exciting. It will ensure that every veteran can move back into civilian life with secure, well-paid work, safe, affordable housing, exceptional healthcare and mental health support, and lifelong security for them and their families. And it is with great pride that I stand here today to be able to officially open the National Armed Forces Hub. And I'm delighted with the virtual audience and the real audience. It's so lovely to see people, I have to say. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from other speakers today about the amazing work that the partners are doing to help the armed forces and local community here in Wales and across the UK. Adrian, thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you.